My child, before time began to flow, before the stars knew their places in the heavens, I knew you. I saw your unformed soul and loved it with a love the oceans cannot contain. Your name was written on the palm of my hand long before your parents dreamed of your existence. I know you sit now in the darkness of your room, your heart heavy and your eyes wandering through the emptiness. I see every tear that falls. I hear every sigh your chest emits. While the world outside rushes on, something within you seems to have stopped, and it is precisely in this silence that my voice becomes clearest. I am here, and time is running out. You've tasted what the world offers, followed its paths, but the thirst remained. Like the woman at the well, you drank from waters that do not satisfy. John 4:13-14. And now, finally, you understand why. I never left you. I was with you in every tear shed on your pillow, in every disappointment, in every misunderstood silence. Like the disciples on the road to Emmaus, your heart burned within you without you knowing why. Luke 24:32. I waited patiently for this moment, the exact instant when you would stop running and finally listen. If you allow me to speak to your heart today, I ask you, do not merely hear these words, but embrace them in your spirit. And if this message has touched your soul, consider sharing it with others who may be in the same darkness you were in. Subscribe to this channel so more stories like this can reach thirsty hearts. What you do now may be the beginning of someone else's journey. Like Elijah, who was fed by ravens in the desert when he thought he was completely abandoned, 1 Kings 17:6, I also send provision for your hungry soul. Like the manna that fell from heaven each morning to sustain my people, Exodus 16, I offer you the spiritual nourishment you need, not because of your merits, but because of my love that never fails. My child, there is something you need to understand. You are not alive by chance. You are not a cosmic accident, nor a dissonant note in the symphony of creation. I shaped you with purpose, preserved you with care, and now I summon you with urgency. Your calling is not generic. It is personal, direct, non-transferable. Just as I called Moses before the burning bush, Exodus 3, I summon you from the midst of flames that do not consume. As I spoke to Samuel in the stillness of the night, 1 Samuel 3, I whisper to your spirit when everyone sleeps. As I touched David while he tended sheep, 1 Samuel 16:11-13, I touch you in the most ordinary moments of your existence. I have chosen you to be light where there is darkness, a voice where there is silence, a bridge where there are chasms. Not to live in comfort, but to walk with courage. Not to hide between walls, but to tear them down. Not just to survive, but to transform and be transformed. When I created the heavens and the earth, each element occupied its rightful place. The waters did not question their limits, the mountains did not complain of their height, the stars did not dispute their brightness. All creation obeys the call for which it was designed. And you, my child, created in my image and likeness, would you have a lesser purpose? Never. The transformation begins now, at this very moment, when my words penetrate your defenses. Like the potter who works the clay with firm and loving hands, I mold you not to break you, but to perfect you. Not to diminish you, but to elevate you to the fullness of what you were created to be. Like the mustard seed, which though insignificant in human eyes, grows and becomes a tree where the birds of the air find shelter. Matthew 13:31-32. So is the purpose I planted in you. Do not despise it for seeming small. What you see as limitation, I see as possibility. What you consider weakness, I transform into strength. I perceive your fears, my child. The fear of judgment that paralyzes your steps, the shame of the past that whispers that you are not worthy, the weariness of trying and failing repeatedly. I see how your heart contracts when you remember the times you wanted to talk about me, but were silenced by looks of disdain. The times you felt hypocritical for still struggling with flaws you thought you had already overcome. But my voice does not retreat before your frailties. On the contrary, it is precisely because of them that I chose you. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Through your scars, my light will find cracks to shine through. Through your imperfections, my perfection will be manifest. Like the widow who came to me with only a little oil and saw that small amount multiply until all the jars were full, 2 Kings 4:17. So I will do with the little you have to offer. It is not the quantity that matters to me, but the willingness of your heart to give what you have, whether much or little. I never promised you a path without thorns. I never said it would be easy. My own son carried a cross and shed blood. But I promise to be with you in every step, in every fall, in every new beginning. As I was with Joseph in the pit and then in the palace, Genesis 37:41, as I accompanied Daniel in the lion's den, Daniel 6, as I did not abandon Job in the midst of the most severe trial, Job. If this story resonates in your spirit as truth, share your own journey in the comments. Your testimony can be the light someone seeks in the darkness. Your story of overcoming can inspire another heart not to give up. Subscribe so we can continue this journey together, strengthening each other. Remember that the greatest heroes of the faith were ordinary men and women, full of doubts and fears. Abraham questioned my promise. Moses tried to refuse my call. Jonah fled in the opposite direction. Peter denied knowing my son, and yet through them I accomplished my purposes. Not because they were perfect, but because, despite their imperfections, they said yes. If you choose the first path, I will respect your decision. I gave you free will as a precious gift, and I will never violate it. But if you choose the second, I promise you will not walk alone. As I promised Joshua when he faced the promised land, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Joshua 1:5. As I assured Jeremiah, before I formed you in the womb I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5. I will guide your steps as the pillar of cloud guided my people by day, and the pillar of fire by night. Exodus 13:21-22. I will strengthen your spirit as I strengthened Samson when he cried out to me one last time. Judges 16:28. I will use your life as an instrument of transformation, whether in a casual conversation with a stranger, in an act of compassion towards someone in need, in content you share online, or even in a silent action that only you and I know about. Every act of obedience can change destinies. Like the little boy who gave me 5 loaves and 2 fish, seemingly insufficient to feed a multitude, but which multiplied in my hands. John 6:9-13. So I will multiply the little you have to offer. Do not underestimate the power of a life surrendered to my will. The decision you make today echoes into eternity. Like a stone thrown into a still lake generates waves that expand to the farthest shore. Your choice will produce effects that go far beyond what you can imagine. Lives will be touched, hearts transformed, destinies altered, not by your power, but by my power working through you. If this message has transformed your perspective, do not keep it to yourself. Share in the comments how you are being impacted and help us expand this reach. Subscribe to continue this journey of transformation together. Each new subscriber represents an opportunity to bring hope to someone who needs it. Like Noah, who built an ark on dry land, Genesis 6. Trusting in my word even when it seemed like madness to the eyes of the world, I also invite you to take steps of faith that may not make immediate sense. Like Abraham, who left his land without knowing where he was going, Hebrews 11:8, I also call you to a journey whose destination I reveal gradually, step by step, according to your faithfulness and maturity. Let me, my child, share with you a vision, the vision of the end of the journey you begin today. I see you before my throne, not with fear or trembling, but with tears of joy and overflowing peace. Not because you were perfect, but because you did not live for yourself. Not because you never fell, but because you always got up. Not because you never doubted, but because, despite the doubts, you trusted. I see you presenting before me not only your own transformed life, but many others who were impacted through yours. Like branches that sprout from the vine, your yes produced fruits that multiplied beyond your limited vision. John 15:5. The time I gave you was not wasted on vain pleasures or fleeting achievements, but invested in eternity. And from the heights of my throne you will hear the words for which your soul has always longed, sweeter than honey, more valuable than gold. Well done, good and faithful servant. I saw everything. I was with you every step of the way, and now you are with me forever. Matthew 25:21. On that day, you will fully understand the purpose of every tear, the value of every renunciation, the meaning of every trial. Like Joseph, who said to his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis 50:20. You will see how I wove every thread of your existence, even the darkest ones, into a tapestry of indescribable beauty. You will see how the apparent silence was not absence, but preparation, how the apparent delay was not denial, but perfecting, how the apparent abandonment was not rejection, but an invitation to a deeper intimacy. Everything will make sense in the light of eternity. And that little yes you pronounced today, that timid step of faith you took, that simple surrender you made, will reveal themselves as the beginning of a journey that transformed not only your story, but the story of many around you. If this call resonates in your spirit as divine truth, do not hesitate. The time is short and the work is urgent. Fields are already white for harvest, but the workers are few. Matthew 9:37. Subscribe to this channel to continue this journey of transformation together, and leave in the comments how these words touched your heart. Your testimony can be the key that will open doors in the lives of others who, like you, yearn for purpose. Remember always, my beloved child, I did not create you for mediocrity, but for excellence, not to live in the shadows, but to shine with my light. Not to drag yourself through the valley, but to conquer the mountain. Like Caleb, who at 85 years old still asked for mountains to conquer, Joshua 14:12, keep alive the flame of spiritual boldness until the last of your earthly days. And when the sun of your earthly existence sets, it will not be an end, but a glorious beginning. Like the seed that needs to be buried to produce new life, your earthly journey will give way to an eternal existence at my side, where he will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. Revelation 21:4. This is the invitation I make today. This is the promise I offer. This is the future I have prepared for you since before the foundation of the world. Do not reject it out of fear. Do not postpone it out of convenience. Do not trade it for fleeting glitters. The call is placed. The choice is yours. And I, your Father who loves you with an everlasting love, eagerly await your answer.